Hey, everybody.
Was
Today's Monday, May 19th, 2025. We're going to be getting into... It's 2025. It's hard to say that sometimes, actually.
I feel like you're getting ready to do, like, morning announcements at school.
You know the microphone's 20 feet away from you?
Morning announcements at school?
Yes, morning announcements at school. Those are some good times. We're going to be getting into a little Trump news today, particularly the tariffs. Not the tariffs. Particularly the trip to the Middle East and the big, beautiful bill. We're going to talk about that a little bit. We're going to get into a little ditty.
Tariffs are so loud.
Just like every other guy has out in Los Angeles.
Ouch.
Bam.
Yikes.
And then, we can't talk about Last of Us because someone couldn't find 27 minutes to watch the show last night.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We can't talk about that. We're going to have to wait and do it another day now when the next episode's probably
Listen,
out.
all I know is Joel would have done it the exact same way he did.
Oh, God. Yes, he would have.
That's what he told Ellie, so.
That is what he said. That's what he said. And finally, we're probably going to get into Nabil's trip.
Ooh.
We'll see whether or not it was a success.
No spoilers.
Success comes in many ways.
What spoiler was I doing?
Yeah, if this is audio, you can't see Steve nodding his head.
Can I ask
Is this audio?
what hat are you wearing?
This is the Yankees AAA affiliate.
Who are they?
The
Looks like a
Tarpons.
catfish. Oh, Tarpons.
Tarpons, yeah.
They look like
Tampa Bay Tarpons.
It's a fish with a baseball bat.
Well,
Looks
'cause
like he's going to
he's
beat
fucking
people.
hitting. Well,
It's a minor league
it's a
baseball
minor league
team.
baseball
What the fuck
team.
is a tarpon?
It's a fish.
It's a fish.
It's right freaking there.
Hello. It's all there.
I can see it, but like if you said tarpon and you weren't wearing the hat, you know?
That's ridiculous. All right, so Trump went to the Middle East, last week?
Yep.
And it seemed like it was a pretty successful trip. Secured some trade deals.
We got all the deals. They want to give us everything, and we're going to give them nothing.
I don't know about the exact details of said deals, but it seemed to be pretty successful.
I mean, we should probably know about the deals to know if it was successful.
Oh, I'm trying to read through them right now. And, I mean, they did pull up they got McDonald's over there now, and a mobile operational McDonald's truck they brought up for them. That was impressive.
They did move to lift sanctions on Syria and get some talks going there.
I think that's a good thing at this point.
I'm going to drop some info on here real quick, Steve. I went to Pakistan when I was 12, which is part of the Middle East. That's more like Southeast. But
It is.
they had McDonald's when I was 12. So, I mean, they've had McDonald's. That's not a new thing.
Oh, well. I don't
Maybe
know that
maybe the
at least.
McDonald's food truck is a new thing.
So you're saying they didn't build McDonald's for Trump's visit?
No. Although, actually, the anecdote that I was talking about before we started kind of relates to that. So I saw a picture, and it was him, Vance, and Robert Kennedy on the plane eating McDonald's. And
That was from a while ago.
That was a while ago.
Oh,
that
was
was
it?
back
Yeah, that's an
when,
older one.
yeah, that was Kennedy was in that too, wasn't it?
Yeah, he
I
was.
know that's bad. That's like 6-7 months old.
Was it? Okay. Well, that was the funny thing about that. Somebody pointed out to me was like, isn't like RFK like the super health nut? Like, why the fuck is he eating
that was
McDonald's?
why when I
He didn't
saw
eat
it,
any of
it was awkward too, watching him sit there and
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that was kind of stupid.
And
I don't
and
know
they
why
were
did that.
somebody told me like if you're sitting with Trump and he's got McDonald's, he's like you need to have the Big Mac and the Diet Coke. It's not an option.
That's it. You're eating what he's eating.
I mean, I don't mind. I would have eaten that Big Mac,
I
but
love Big Macs with extra onions. And we're off on a tangent.
well, hold
again.
on. You
was
said
a
Middle
quick-
Middle East McDonald's Trump.
That's
We're still
true.
we're still
That's
there.
true, I guess. Yes.
All right.
Well, but yeah, he secured.
That wasn't a major accomplishment of Trump.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, getting the mobile McDonald's tanker that was out there for him. They were negotiating with, or starting to negotiate with Iran to get rid of their nuclear weapons, or the nuclear weapon program. It's weird that everyone's so popular when we start
Always.
recording podcasts.
Since we all became influencers.
well,
I
now
mean,
that we're influencers, I completely understand
my
that.
phone never used to ring.
No, me neither. Oh my God, everyone used to avoid it, but now it's nonstop. I got to silence it, or I'm using it for recording. One of the two.
Yeah.
But yeah, between that and the lifting the sanctions on Syria, which I think was overdue. If you think about it, how long have the Syrian sanctions been in place? They've been in for a long time.
A long time.
So you're looking at generations of people that hate the United States because we're sanctioning them for basically their entire lifetime, and they don't have a chance to prove us wrong and say maybe they've changed. Maybe there will be some kind of peace in the Middle East now.
I imagine that the way those things went down is they got the sanctions put on them, and they've never done anything to show that we should take them away.
Right. Or the president or the previous presidents haven't seen a need to do it.
Right.
Well, but if we can create allies, especially in the Middle East, and we can get rid of the madness that goes on out there all the time, that'd be great. Especially if we don't have to intervene in anything. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Just letting them do what they do, letting them be in charge of their own future. I am tired of the United States being the world's police. That's not our job.
No.
But everyone seems to think that it is.
Well,
No.
really, most of the policing is of our own interests.
It's true.
We're
Absolutely.
We're watching out for us. What
But
we
it would
do.
be nice to just like kind of be on the sidelines and say, all right, you guys take care of this. And we still do whatever it is we got to do there.
I would say some of Trump's policies are such that it's sort of like roundabout policing. Like, we're not overtly going to tell people what to do, but we're like, okay, well, we're going to make these tariffs and these policies, and you can play ball or you can,
Right.
get fucked.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
Which
Well, and
is
a lot of that, there's
policing
bad
sort
blood
of.
no matter what because we back Israel. So if we're
Is that
Seems
you?
like
if
that,
we're partnering with Israel, the other countries in the Middle
it
East are
seems
always
like
going to have
he
negative.
kind of went, I don't want to say anti-Israel on that trip, but he was not as Israel friendly as most politicians in this country usually are.
Well, he did also begin negotiations on a nuclear deal with Iran, which would be huge.
That's
too.
all. Yeah, that would be huge. They got to get rid of it completely. And I think we had him in a position where they were doing that until Biden got in office. And then he kind of let everything go by the wayside.
Speaking of him, did you hear about his thing last night?
About what?
Biden has
Prostate
cancer.
cancer?
Yeah.
Like, very aggressive. Like,
Yeah.
you're the president of the United States. You get the best care in the world. And how do they...
It's not going to save you from prostate.
No,
Oh,
but I
that's
mean,
a whole
like,
different game.
aggressive means, like, you weren't being tested for stuff. Nobody looked at any of the signs.
No, is that what it means?
Well,
It means it's not easily curable.
I thought it meant it was farther along because it wasn't easily, quickly
No.
found.
was it further along? I mean, what state?
I thought it was.
I
I didn't hear anything
I didn't
about
hear
what
anything about that
stage.
either.
He didn't really mention that. I don't think they talked about that. But aggressive just means a very fast-moving cancer,
Which
would
also-
make sense that they didn't find it sooner
If it's
because
fast-moving.
fast-moving.
Okay. That makes sense. Well, that probably doesn't bode well for him.
There was a big week on the big Biden news week too. There a lot of like Jake Tapper from CNN is writing a book based on the cover up of his health during his presidency.
Oh,
And
like
he was one of the main contributors to the cover up. Contributors.
Jake Tapper was?
Jake Tapper. I'd see he had one of the Trump, was it Laura Trump on his show?
Yeah.
And she was talking about Biden's mental decline. And Jake Tapper slamming her like, oh, how can you say that? You're not a doctor. You're just, and then he went on some tangent about her making fun of people with stutters. And she's like, I didn't even know he had a stutter. But he goes off on this tangent that has nothing to do with his mental collapse and just slamming her. Now he's going to come out with a book saying, oh, they kind of bamboozled us. I'm like, bamboozled you? It was clear as day what was going on.
Well-
Anybody that watched Biden I watched a lot of his 2020 debates compared to his 2024 debate.
Yeah.
Night and day.
I
Well,
mean,
that was shocking.
And it was not, in his 2020 wasn't that
But
good.
that first debate was the end of his
Oh,
run
that was
for
the end of,
president.
but
probably-
everybody knew it was like that.
I'd
That's the
probably
problem.
meet Jake Tapper halfway and be like, you know what? I noticed stuff with Biden, but you're right. I'm not a doctor, so I couldn't tell you what the exact diagnosis is, but there's something up.
Right, but they were all trying to be like, oh, what were they calling them? Deep fake or deep fakes? Is that what they were saying?
Yeah.
Like all these clips that
Like
they
AI
were
things.
putting out were just little clips and taken out of context. I believe that Karine Jean-Pierre, his press secretary.
It was fancy.
Yeah, it was. I'm surprised I remembered her name.
His
yeah, they were coming
first
out-
debate, or the debate with Trump, was shocking. How
was.
much the decline was. I didn't realize it until that day.
Right. If you didn't pay attention, or if you weren't really like watching his nonsense every day and paying attention to how he was speaking and what he was saying and how he was forgetting things, you wouldn't have seen that because a lot of the news agencies didn't cover that.
Yeah, but you know what's gonna happen, right? They're gonna like cover this medical stuff, and I'm not trying to like wish anything on the guy, but
No, absolutely
at
not.
some point he's gonna pass, and when he passes, then some time will pass because you can't talk ill of the dead. But then after a little bit of time passes, you'll get people being like, "Oh yeah, we
They're kind of doing that now with these books.
maybe," but it's not like a full blown like, "Yeah, we saw the signs and didn't say anything," but that'll come later.
That'll be from his family, probably.
Probably,
because
but-
I don't blame him because I honestly don't think he knew what he was doing most of the time.
I blame him.
I blame the people that were close to him, like his
I
wife.
don't think
He's
he is
been
as
in po-
bad as you're making it.
I
I don't
think
think he had no idea what was happening.
Not no idea, but I don't think he was the one making decisions for the country. There's no way he was. Absolutely not. I don't think he had the cognitive capacity to make decisions for the country.
Fine. You can think.
Well, I do think that. I think a lot of people think that.
Well, that's good.
That's your debate. Oh, that's good. Yeah,
No,
you can
I
think
can't
that.
say either.
You can say
Can't
either.
say, but I
You
really
just said
honestly
you
think
think that.
I don't think they're waking
I
him up
said
at
I
2
don't
a.m.
think that.
There's a problem in the Middle East. President Biden, he doesn't even know where he is.
Well, yeah, you know, that's why you have a vice president to do that shit for you when you
And
can't.
how successful was that vice president pick? Oh my God, she was in the 2020 presidential when the run up to pick the Democratic nominee during their debates.
Yeah.
She was the first one out.
Yeah.
She was the least favorable, dumbest. I'm going to try to be nice. She was the first one out. Let's just leave it at that.
He still picked her for his running mate.
He picked her
which
because she was
she fit.
she fit a profile that they were looking for. They were trying to get a certain group of people, and apparently it was successful because he won.
You mean they didn't want the guy with the Ben and Jerry's?
Oh God, Bernie, another dude.
I like him.
He's a goofball.
Him
There are
and
things about him I do like.
him and somebody else are going around and like
Alexander
AOC.
Ocasio-Cortez.
they're going around right now like doing debates and
anti-oligarchy
stuff.
tour.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the problem
That's
with
gotta
that
be
is,
over by now.
They're not running for like president. Like nobody's like saying, "Hey, we want to be president."
well,
or anything. They're
she's
just doing stuff.
she is trying. They're pushing hard for her to be the face of the Democratic Party.
That's fine, but she's still not ready.
She's an idiot.
She's not even
I'm
old
sorry.
enough, is she?
No, she's 37, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought she was like way
But
younger.
if
That's
you
why
watch-
people were
if
like,
you
I
actually
would much
watch a lot
rather
of her
have a
clips-
37 or
I
not
would
her
too,
necessarily, but I mean
as
a
long
younger
as-
president than these 75-year-old,
Oh, I agree with
80-year-old
you.
presidents. This is
I
ridiculous.
agree with you. But I don't think she's the answer to their
No,
problems.
she's
They need
not.
someone that's way more moderate than
Doha.
she is. Because you're going to lose, obviously, you're going to lose conservatives. You're going to lose independents, I think, with her. Yeah, true story.
Wow.
But he also, this past week, the one big beautiful bill moved on to the next phases.
What is this beautiful bill?
There's a lot of there's a new child tax credit increase. It goes from $2,000 to $2,500. There's no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. So that's going to help everybody that's in the service industry, obviously.
That's the type of shit that would make me go back to 911.
That's what
My
I'm
God,
saying.
man! Like
A ton of overtime.
overtime tax was such a problem.
Well, look at like the correction officers in the state. How much
Yeah,
overtime?
yeah,
they're
yeah,
they're
same-
like
same
mandatory,
thing.
basically 20
they-
hours a week.
They bump you into a higher bracket and they double tax you. It's ridiculous.
Oh, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy how much the government gets from your earnings. And even like, I was thinking about that's like selling stuff on eBay.
Yeah,
You're selling used products, basically.
that have already been
So
taxed.
they've already been taxed.
Yeah.
Then you got
Ideally.
then when you sell them on eBay, they tax that item again, and then you got to pay taxes based on your profit from that item.
Yeah,
it's insane.
It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. But
Why
this
would they be
bill,
getting rid of any of that?
that wasn't in there. No.
Oh, well, then
I
why
just
are
I got fired up in there for a minute.
Hey.
You know how that goes.
Baby steps.
Okay, well,
We're trying to stay on topic. This is very hard to stay on topic. I've noticed. Oh my God, there's an estate
There's
tax
nothing wrong with that.
exemption.
That's a big one.
$15 million if it and they're looking to extend that benefit permanently. And a lot of people are talking about how they're doing cuts to Medicare and Medicaid, and they're not. They're basically getting rid of the fraud that's in Medicare and Medicaid. Like you can't use this for anyone that's here illegally. You can't be on Medicaid if you're here illegally. And I know one part of it had to do with Medicaid paying for like transgender surgeries. And they said that's if you want to do that, you can do that. I mean, that's your thing. The taxpayer shouldn't be responsible for that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Not life
that
threatening.
seems reasonable.
I agree. Everything that's been going on with so far, this has been a good couple weeks. The tariffs had me a little concerned, but they seem to be working out. So he's had a pretty solid couple of weeks, I think. Some of the tariff stuff came around. The Middle East trip was pretty decent, even though he's getting this big plane that everybody's concerned with for some reason.
So we're going back to the Middle East.
Well, we're going to cover it all. We're going to do a summary now of this whole thing.
The
Summary.
plane, I don't. It's a gift to the government, not
Yes.
him. I would say.
But everybody
In
thinks
my-
it's a gift to him.
But I think it's pretty much useless for us because first of all, the plane would have to be completely stripped because you don't know what they could have put on there. They could put any kind of bugging device. So
Exactly. Or a
it's
remote
gotta be
detonating
completely
device,
stripped.
anything.
And the amount of equipment that goes on Air Force One, it's like billions of dollars, and it's going to take years and years. It
Right.
would never be ready.
This will barely be ready for the end of his term.
So I don't
He
think.
already-
I think it'll be something that we never use.
Well, he already said that he's not going to use it once he's not the president, too. He made that pretty clear.
But I don't think it's
it would go to
anything
his
that the
library.
United States will ever use as
Well,
Air
I don't know.
Force
Well, we'll
One.
see.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if it's going to save us a
But
little
it's
bit
not a
good,
gift
if it doesn't
for
cost us
Trump
anything, right?
personally.
So them are the two big things that I've seen people complain about. Was that, and they're still on this guy that got deported. Was it El Salvador? The guy from Maryland, the father who was such a good
The one that got deported illegally.
well, he was actually had a deportation order from the way I understand it, but just not to El Salvador because that's where he was a gang member and they were rival
So
gangs
we're
going
done
after
with
him in
the
the
big,
prison.
beautiful bill.
No, we're getting back into it. I
Oh,
know.
no.
Son of a bitch. We got to
Holy
stay on
crap.
topic. All right, big beautiful bill. We're going to head back to that.
We're going back to the big, beautiful bill.
Oh my.
Yeah, that's good.
It's big. It's beautiful.
Because a big thing, really, I mean, I don't fly, but
We know.
it modernizes air traffic control, which is a huge problem.
Sure.
Yeah.
When's the last time they actually updated it?
I don't know how much that, it doesn't say on here what they're
There's
thinking.
border
of
wall
cost,
funding in
but
there. Increasing
Air traffic
enforcement.
control, the system that they're working on is very antiquated.
Yes.
And it's worked, and they say you're safe, but
Most
it
of our
really
systems are
needs
like
this
that.
major overhaul. It's huge.
And I think a lot of our systems are antiquated and need to be updated. So it's nice that they're actually going to put some money into it.
I'm just looking at the big beautiful bill.
And it ends taxpayer-funded sex changes for minors.
That's even better. If you
But
that
what-
should be illegal.
But what if you
across
have a
the board.
different job?
If you have hold on, I know there's a joke in there somewhere. I'm trying to get it. So
If you're not a minor,
oh, that's,
No?
that was a good one.
you don't have a button for that?
No, I'm trying to. No, there's nothing that could even.
That's what she said.
Oh shit! Oh, that's not the right one.
Oh, is that
That was
YMCA?
the YMCA. We were supposed to play it at the beginning of the segment.
Oh man.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Anyway,
That's it?
yeah, that went too far. That was supposed to be at the beginning. I screwed that up already.
God.
Ridiculous.
Can we start over?
No, we're probably going to run out of memory soon, so we're going to have to wrap this up. But yeah, this has been a good week.
What
And
about the border wall security on that? Did you
they got more funding for construction of more border wall,
and boost border patrol
I can't see
more for the
find it.
agents.
officials?
Let's just type in one
Type
big
in
beautiful
one big
bill.
beautiful bill.
Jesus.
I
It'll
did.
come right
Big
up.
beautiful bill. Yeah,
Summary.
all these news
And
stories.
hit enter.
Well, use AI at the top. They're taking over this AI.
There's no AI.
That iPad might not have it. That's awkward.
4 sticking points.
10,000 new ICE personnel, 5,000 new customs officers, and 3,000 new border patrol agents.
Yeah.
State and local tax.
What about keeping the military on the southern border? Why not?
I would say like
that
the
seems
national.
like
that'd
it'd
be a good job for the
training
National Guard.
area even.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put a base down there and train the military.
Ooh, Elise
I think
Stefanik.
that would be good. Well, it's not. Don't change the subject, Nabil.
No. It's part of the
here we
big
go.
beautiful bill.
Okay.
In a joint statement earlier in May, New York Republican Congress members Elise Stefanik, Andrew Garbarino, Nicola Loda, and McClellan accused Speaker of an amount they already knew would fall short of earning our support. It says something like the caps that are offered in the state and local deductions don't come close to like helping in states like ours because of the already high taxes. So like New York, California, and New Jersey have objected, saying that the proposed cap is not high enough.
Wow.
Yeah, another point of contention of the bill is a tripling of local tax deduction known as SALT from $10,000 to $30,000 for couples.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know. You'd get
SALT.
$30,000 deduction for being
State
like
and
married.
local tax deduction.
Yeah.
That makes
So-
sense. Aptly named.
Yeah, New York is like, we don't give a shit because our taxes are so high that doesn't matter. Basically, is what they're saying. They're
That
like,
makes sense.
make it bigger.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, we got to tax our people even more to get nothing.
Yeah. No,
But
they're
yeah.
saying the deduction needs to be bigger. Like the credit, you'd get like 30,000 is a drop in the bucket compared to what you pay.
Oh, right. I don't think we pay. I don't think most normal people pay anywhere near that.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
12% of Americans received SNAP benefits last year, with the figure higher in some Republican-leaning states.
I think overall this looks like a pretty good bill, even though the liberals are going to say that we're just protecting billionaires. But I don't even see anything that would affect them in this. But that's fine. So I think it was a pretty successful 2 weeks for Trump. I mean, if you look at overall how the administration's been, like groceries are down, fuel's down.
I heard Trump invented groceries.
He did invent groceries. You guys didn't know that?
Just the word, not
Just the word,
the
yeah,
actual
yeah.
grocery.
Just like back in the late '80s, early '90s, Al Gore invented the internet. Same concept.
Nah,
Well,
okay.
it is good that now we have a word for all the food that
All
we
the
buy.
food that you buy at the store, groceries. Yeah, that's good. I didn't see that clip, but I gotta watch. That sounds funny.
I just used to call my food pile.
See now you got It's a lot easier saying groceries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just get it right out of the
Isn't
way.
that better?
My food stack.
Ooh, food stack.
Yeah. Oh, the stock market's up pretty good. We're about what? And the NASDAQ anyway, which is where most of ours are, It's only about 1,000 points off its all-time high.
Now, Steve,
Yeah.
in the same way that the people that you don't like complaining about they lost money when the stock market goes down,
God.
you can't say that you did good until you cash out.
Well, I will cash out when it gets to a higher point. I will move money out of the market back into a
Still
stable
looking
fund.
at the bigger numbers does make you happy.
Yes.
I'm just
Yeah. No. I know what you're saying, but I'm not saying I made my balance increased.
It's at 19,000.
Yeah, that's pretty good. What was the high?
Was it
20,200.
22?
No, I think it was 20,200.
It never hit 20. I think it was in 21s at least. But you had a.
It's up, Art.
Can't
That's
check
the
on it with
point.
my phone.
It is. It's way better than it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think everything that he's doing is actually coming together finally.
I got gas for $2.85 a gallon last night.
That's pretty good. Yeah. Diesel's still a little pricey, but that's because I decided to get a diesel truck.
Although I bought that from what's a good word for it?
Some guy on the side of the road. Had it in a
No.
bucket.
A nation within our nation?
The Oneida Indian Nation.
Yes.
Oh, why didn't you just say that?
Because not everybody would know what that means.
Well, but the six
But they
people
know
that,
the amount of
the
words.
six
you just
people
said.
that watch this will know.
This
exactly
is why
what
we
that
needed
means.
a word like groceries.
Yeah, exactly.
Too
Yeah.
many words.
Too many words being thrown out there.
It's like Vatican City, a country within a country.
And a comic book.
All right. That's
Vatican City.
It's just Vatican.
Nobody's gonna get that.
Vatican
reference.
City.
It might be.
It is.
So-
That's harsh.
I don't pay attention to comics.
To sum it up, solid couple weeks. I think things are coming together. I think we're doing pretty good. Stop complaining. You
Do
know,
we have a minute to talk about his trip?
Yeah, that's another
Separate segment.
What are you doing? Is this your first time casting?
Yes.
For the love of God.
And check the market.
Yeah, look at the market, get the high, know what you're talking about.
You got it right there.
Yeah, it's
It's freaking
the
ridiculous.
1 year high is 20,200.
Isn't that what I just said?
Well, I think there was a higher.
No, there wasn't.
You must be high if you think
That was
that.
the absolute high. I don't know if I can take it anymore. We're gonna cut it off here because we're gonna go into 55 different tangents, and we got so many different topics to cover today.
We love tangents.
We do love a little too much, I also wanted to try to do a reaction video at some point today.
To what?
Maybe we can watch the new Superman trailer.
Oh, I haven't seen
Talk
it yet.
about that. Oh, that'll be good then.
I haven't either.
Well, this is fast. This will be a legit reaction video.
Yeah.
But I got to figure out how to do some recordings. So we'll be back with our next segment shortly. Thank you for watching Two Studs and a Dud. Please like, subscribe, and share this video.